Good morning, Friday. Good morning, Friday. Good morning, Friday. Day 5. We made it an entire week of 7 a.m. daily live draw streams. And haven't warmed up the voice yet that much. So I'm going to pop open my favorite beverage of choice these days when I'm not having, say, a coffee, regular water, or that's about all I drink. Water, coffee, and a LaCroix lemon flavored sparkling water. So I'm going to pour this into my cup. I don't like to drink out of the can because I get a slurping noise. What I like about this is no carbs, no sugar. It's all zeroed out. And that's a good thing. And it has just enough lemon flavor in it. I like the lime too. In fact, I love lime over lemon. However, um, I enjoy uh, the lemon flavored LaCroix sparkling water much better than the lime. The taste is a little better, I believe. So cheers. I'm going to have a sip. You may have noticed if you've been watching this week that I went back to a regular pencil, um, particularly for this Mr. Freeze. I might go back to the red. I'm going to have to find and purchase some leads because I snapped a few yesterday. And when I bought the pencil, this one here, uh, it's still got the barcode on it, but I got it from Jet Pens online. I didn't buy any refills for it, so let's take a look. It's got one left, so I am gonna have to order some refills. Or what I would like to find is something like like my mechanical pencil here. It has red lead, and I might just go ahead and buy some red colored pencils. Probably, I know I can find them online. I can't find around town. I don't have a really good art supply store here. So, anyway, good morning, Stephen. Happy Friday. Good morning, Big Easy. Happy Friday to you also, and to those that are watching. I would like to say thank you all for making this week a huge success. And I hope that you all have enjoyed it as much as I have. And for those of you that are going to be around tonight at 7 p.m., hey, we have a new person, Easy Freezy. How you doing, sir or ma'am? Uh, Welcome to the show. I like your moniker because I am drawing Mr. Freeze. So what I plan on doing today, being Friday, is uh, if this goes an hour and a half or a little bit longer, I'm going to go ahead and just finish this one off because I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to go with this one as far as any tones, blacks or lights or anything like that. But he also, excuse me 1 second, keeping the vocal cords lubricated. He also has a little bit of mechanical stuff on him, so that's going to be a little bit more time consuming. Now, I know these are sketches, but I'm going to go ahead and use some templates on this, just to make it a little more accurate, I guess might be the word, or um, hold on one second. I'm trying to line this up and think of the word. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go ahead and invest the time into some of these ellipses and stuff just to give it a less organic look and maybe a little more. I will get I will get a little freehand stuff going on it. So it's going to be a nice juxtaposition of him in being, some of it will have a definite template look, and other parts of him are going to be more organic, which will be, in my eyes, it should turn out well. But we'll see. We'll see at the end how things go. And as I was saying, this is one of two live streams today. So easy freezy. If you do not know, if you want to hit the subscribe button, um, if you haven't already, to the channel, and come back at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight. I am going to be giving away 3 sketches, your choice if you win, um, with my co-host Craig Zablo. So you might want to look into that if you are at all interested. You do have to subscribe and be in the chat room to win, though. Yep, I have one for circles also that I'll be using in just a second. Big Easy. So the end of the week, for many people, that means time off of work. For me, a lot of times it's just another day of getting things done. Let's see, is this the one I used? I think so, if it's big enough. Yes, this would be it. Okay, that's great, Easy. And I'll explain the rules here real quick for those of you watching now and those of you who might watch this later. I'm speaking right now to people that might watch the replay and may not be in live. Anyway, it's fairly simple. You have to be subscribed to my channel. You have to be in the chat room when I announce that, and I'm going to wait for maybe 15 minutes or so after the stream starts so that people can filter in. I realize everybody can't be like waiting right at 7:30. So I will give that, like about a 15-minute time to get in, get settled. And then anybody who didn't win last week is eligible to win this week. And we're going to do 3. So I got to find one of those things online that will mix names up that I put in and draw them randomly, so that nobody can think that I'm trying to pull a fast one. And I'm going to try to work it so that I'll be able to, and I think I I know how to do it. I just got to experiment with it a bit. Share my screen so you can actually see it. We'll see what kind of software is out there. These free online things that allow you to enter names into a random drawing, specifically for purposes like this. And we'll get 3 people, and they will pick the character that they would like me to draw, and then I draw it, and we have a discussion while I'm drawing. With tonight, it will be Craig and myself. Jared is, again, I want to repeat, Jared is having his birthday celebration tonight, so I guess we'll be wishing him a happy birthday tonight, and I'll wish him a happy birthday now. Happy birthday, Jared. 42 years young. Yes, our baby boy is growing up. Well, I don't know about that, but I'm much older than him, but you would never know it. Okay, so I think that you know, you have to be here, you have to be subscribed, and you are not obligated to stay if you win. However, it would be nice. I would enjoy your company, uh, and it might be fun to see you for you to see your drawing being done, and to see what other people are either saying or doing. I know last week, I think everybody except one person stayed the entire time, so that was a lot of fun. Hey, Ron. Good morning. I know the routine. You'll be with us as until you're not. I got you. Uh, yes, I have Batroc, and I am gonna be mailing out. I think I was gonna do it earlier this week, and I got held up a little bit. So I believe that uh, Monday will give me a chance to finish up some other things that I have to get done, and to get everybody packaged up and I actually got to get. I'm debating whether I should just write names uh, on the envelopes to mail out stuff, or if I should use my labels and print them out all nice. And not that my handwriting is not neat, but just print out a nice mailing label. We'll see. I need to buy ink, so I hate spending like $80 on ink when my yellow's out, and all I really need to do is print black. But my yellow's out, so you know how that goes. Anybody that has a printer, one color goes out, guess what? You can't print. You can't print black and white. Yep. It's a shame. I hate that. That's one of my pet peeves. You know what? I actually, and here's the sad thing. I bought a laser, yeah, like literally a $50 uh, laser printer that just prints black for specifically for printing out emails and stuff that don't need color. I don't really need a lot of color printing done. If I get prints made or anything like that, I have a professional print shop that is behind my office, handle all that for me. They have great equipment, do great prints, and I'm not wasting all of my ink and life of my machine doing it. Um, you know what? I'm really beginning to think that I am going to check the price of a new somewhere when I moved here. I'm missing a cable. Actually, you know what? I need to check next door. One of the guys, we have a computer help thing. One of the guys is a comics fan next door. And he's always asked me, he's already, well, hasn't asked me, but he's told me, yeah, if you ever need any computer help, just come over, I can come up to your office real quick and fix something. I think they have that cable that I need to to hook up my laser printer. I just need a Wi-Fi connection, but I don't have the right cable to get it working again. When you get that thing, you install it, it's working wherever you have it, you lose the cable. Well, don't lose the cable. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because if you ever move locations, you need that cable to hook it up to wherever you're moving it to. And I don't have that cable. Now, they probably do have because they'll have like they'll have a bunch of stuff that's like different computer jacks or things for old computers that people have to bring in and they don't have it. They have all that stuff. So he's made the offer. I need to take him up on it. Oh, all right then. It is Friday. Mike Cross has. Did you like that? Mike Cross has. Um, you might be right, Ron. My penmanship. It's Although by the time I get to the 10th label or something, I might be a little lazy. Uh, Mike Cross has requested a hand jive, and since it's Friday, I'm going to go ahead and indulge him in that hand jive. There we go. All right. That goes way back, and that's all we need to discuss about that. There was somebody who was very famous for during the Ustream days, back in back in the early days of the internet's streaming, right, Mr. Cross? Uh, Back in that Stone Age time. And he always used to do these hand motions, and we had a good time watching it. All right. Wow. More lines. Hashtag more lines. That's right. If we do big, I think we should do and you can start it if you want, a happy birthday, Jared post. And I think we should all hashtag it with more lines. Okay? Sound good, everyone? Everyone that's on Twitter, and if Big is going to tag us all in it, that's fine with me. But I will retweet it with my own happy birthday and with the more lines extra extra hashtag on it. Hand jive, hand jive. Huh. The good old days. They don't seem that long ago, Mike. Well, maybe they do. Maybe I was having a senior moment there for a while. Mike, will you be able to make it tonight for the giveaway? Will you be entering to get a free Big Beatty head sketch? Free of charge, even postage to the Great White North? And you are in the Great White North. You got snow up there yet? Pray tell? Uh, that would be correct, sir. That would be correct. Now, if you got an excuse where you can't make it, that's fine. But I don't want no lame one. Ton of rain, huh? Boy, that's one thing. I feel you on the rain. I do not. Snow and rain are the elements I can do without. I mean, I know we need them, at least the rain. But I don't like a rainy day when I have to be out in it. If I can be inside, it's fine. I care less. But if I have to go somewhere and it's raining, not not a fan. Not a fan, not a fan. But is anybody a fan of rain? I know there are snow fans. Some people wouldn't trade it for the heat that I live here in Florida. Well, I think it's more the humidity, but all things equal, I'll take my heat and humidity, thank you. Hi, Ryan. Oh, from Australia. Well, how you doing in the down under? Well, I hope. And let's see. Yes, you did. What's the time difference there? It is like 7:25 a.m. in the morning Eastern time in the US. And you know, I do like that you use that Farmer's Almanac, Mike Ross. Everybody should still keep one of those handy, right? Right. Oh, seven. Okay, so uh, if you were Ryan, if you were to make it to the 7:30 p.m. free giveaway tonight, which is about 12 hours away now. What time? Well, let me see. 12 hours for you too. Okay. So it'd be 9:25 a.m. Hey, that's on a Saturday morning. That's depending on your schedule, that's doable. Yes, sir. I would say. Very good, sir. And you've read the rules, correct? If not, I can put them in the room. I can put a link to a page in the room that will take you to the page. You know, my wife is from the Philippines, so I think you all are on the same timeline. The only thing that will be troublesome is, and I have no idea why we still do this. This Saturday, we will be falling back an hour, which makes Sunday feel like the longest day ever. And usually takes me about 2 weeks to get back into a good routine because of that stupid time change. Oh, I better, if my son ever sees this, he will get on to me for stupid. So, Jacob, Daddy did not call anybody stupid. He referred to something as being stupid. He's very good about policing mom and dad on things that we ask him not to do. So, and my boy wants to be a YouTuber, so I want to make sure that I set a good example for him. Yep. No, hey, Jeff, good morning. Yep, not a fan. That's good, Big. Yep. If your kids are policing you too, then you've done a good job. Um, at least I feel you've done a good job by, telling them not to use a bad word, and then if mom or dad uses it, then it's like, hey, when they say something to you, it's like, good. I always tell Jacob, good. He does, sometimes because we basically don't want him calling anyone stupid. But if I say an idea is stupid, or you know, just like the time change thing, he gets a little confused and he'll say, "Oh, Daddy, you said that bad S word," and then I'll explain to him that I used it without, calling a person. I used it in a different way. I forget. It becomes a descriptive thing rather than, well, it's a descriptive anyway, but Um, you guys know what I mean. Somebody out there that knows what I'm trying to say, feel free to chime in if you do. If you don't, then okay, we're good. I think we understand where I'm going with this. Yes, it is. Everything in context. You're right, Ryan. I love that about Arizona. They don't change, and I think there's another state, and I can't remember which one started doing it. And it's it's kind of become a thing now where it's actually being discussed yet again to drop it, and I'm all for that. Just let's that I mean, I can tell myself that the days are already, it's getting darker earlier. Everything is taking care of itself. We don't really need to have a clock to know that the days are getting shorter. Right, Mr. Cross? Yeah, well, you had some nice dry heat. I'm in Florida where the heat is moist. And I prefer the dry heat. Um, I've heard you can dehydrate just as fast. You just don't realize it because you're not sweating like you do here in Florida. While everybody's in the room, I would just ask a small favor. If you can go down underneath what you're seeing and give me a like, a thumbs up if you indeed like what you're seeing, that would be a big help to me. And later today, if you come back and if you don't hang in, or if you can't hang in, I get it for the whole live stream. If you can leave a comment, I will reply, and it also helps the channel when people leave comments. What it does, from what I understand, is if your channel's getting a little bit of traction on YouTube, let's say somebody else is watching a comics type stream, then basically what happens is uh, it will reflect on yours, and you'll get in that recommended and the little sidebar thing that we all see in YouTube. And that's where you get some audience that you may not have been able to reach, or they didn't know about your stream, your videos. They might see something and go, "Oh, I didn't know this. I didn't know this was on YouTube. I think I will give this video a look." And if they wind up looking and then subscribing, that's how you gain another subscriber. So thank you all for helping. Okay, Big. I'll be looking for your comment later, and see you tonight. Yeah. Well, I was this whole week I've kind of, well, I had not kind of, I have, and I did it on purpose. I did the Batman family, well, Batman family of characters, meaning I could pick anyone from the Batman universe. And for the most part, the Batman universe is one that you can kind of put your own stamp on, and you can, you know you can have fun with it, and the company doesn't tend to mind different takes on the character, including Batman himself. You can play around with the utility belt. You can give him a different bat symbol depending on what you like on his chest, whether you like the oval, the yellow oval, or just the black bat. Even the bat inside you can kind of play around with. So it gives an artist, the Batman universe gives an artist a lot of freedom to change the look of stuff up. So that's always fun. So I try to take advantage of it when I can. Good morning, Shannon. How are you this Friday? Excuse me while I clear my throat, and let me take another sip of my sparkling water. Okay. Let's see. I think now that I've kind of got some of that technical stuff out of the way, I will go in with my brush pen. Well, it's good to see everybody. I can't believe, and I'm happy to announce that I'm seeing that we have 9 watchers. Oh, we lost somebody. I think that must have been Ryan dropping out. Uh, no? Oh, he was saying goodbye to Big. That must have been Big that just dropped out. But we were up to 9, and that's been really good. Um, I, I've been very thankful for the turnouts that I've been getting this early all week. So I want to again thank you all for showing up. And thank you for liking the stream, and thank you for leaving a comment in the comment section. All very helpful and all appreciated. You know what? Let's see. Here it is. Looking for this. I'm getting a little too careful around this edge, so I want to be able to go off the board. Because I know this is going to be, I know I'm going black behind him, so I don't need to be so, but I just don't want the ink to go onto my drawing surface, so I'm being a bit too meticulous with it without having a little guard thing here. So I'll get that out. All right, Jeff, thank you for stopping in. And hopefully we'll see you tonight, 7:30 p.m. And good luck. Have a great day. If I don't happen to see you when you have to exit the room, I apologize in advance. It may be one of those times where I'm head down working and you gots to go, and I understand. So I'm not, excuse me, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just getting this done. Is that dry over there? I guess we're about to find out. Appears to be. That's absolutely right, Ryan. Uh, I love Mignola's work, and um, you're right. He is one of my influences. You will see certain aspects of his work slip into what I do quite often. So that's actually a very good observation by you, sir. It's funny because I know that, you know, one of these days one of these mornings, I'm gonna be drawing Hellboy. And my take on Hellboy is pretty much I just rip off Mignola. I mean, I know other people, kind of can visually make him rather, not them, make the character their own. I haven't had that much luck doing that. My version tends to really lean towards uh, what Mignola, uh, what his would look like. And I guess there's no real harm in that. But maybe one day I'll develop a different look all to myself. That's right. Did I do that before, Mike? Did I put pupils in a Hellboy, or were Zablo and I joking about he was going to put them in? I know there was something that got that started, or maybe somebody put them in. Thank you, Ron. uh, okay, but that's not one I did for you. I know not to put pupils, but it was another artist, and we don't have to name the person, of course, but they actually put pupils in your sketch, correct? Yeah, the whole cast of Hellboy is really cool. I like Lobster Johnson too. Uh, that it's been a very successful property for Mike Mignola, and good for him. Yeah, hopefully that new movie is a good one. I only saw the first one. I actually need to check out the other one before the new one comes out. I don't know if that's available on Netflix or not. I haven't looked. Yes, they were, sir. Yes, they were, Mike Cross. Thank you very much for the props. I really like Duncan Fregredo. Fregredo's. I think I stumbled over my tongue there. Fregredo's look. His take on Hellboy quite a bit. I think he's been probably drawing him, if not longer, as much as Mignola, and he really has a good grasp of the character. I really enjoy seeing him bringing the character to life. All right. All right, Mike. Take care, and hope to see you later tonight. And have a good day. Appreciate you dropping in. And for those just getting into the room or didn't hear the beginning, what I decided to do today, being Friday, is instead of stopping this right around 8 or a couple minutes after 8, I'm going to go ahead and if it takes another half hour or however long, 45 minutes or whatever, I'm going to finish this on stream instead of cutting it off and then posting the finished piece and not having the complete process on the stream. I think I can afford myself a little more time to invest in that. So those of you who can stay, I'll be doing this completely finished piece uh, live today. So I don't know how many of you that will affect, but I understand some of you are here right before work or getting to work, maybe even driving to work. And I appreciate it. So if you have to hop out, I get it. Yep. I feel the same way, Ryan. I'm a process junkie myself. I love to watch people work and uh, see what tools they use, and um, like you said, it's very interesting to see something come together um, from start to finish. Yep. Hey, Josh. Good morning. Oh yeah, it sounds like a rough night there, bud. Really? Well, It's a rough weekday then. Rough regular weekday schedule. Oh, sorry for the whistling. Trying to figure out, I want some of this black ink to dry. And here I am putting down more. So I can erase my pencils. Because I don't need them anymore. Yeah, it's it's just a Pentel pocket brush. It's got these little, and they are waterproof, which is good. It's got these little cartridges that you just snap in, and then the ink can get back to it. Okay, I know up here is dry. Famous last words. This is the part that has me, that I see a little bit. Let me blot it. Let me blot it. Yep, little speck there. All right. Had something on the eraser. That's okay. Let's give it a churn. Churn the eraser. Get the dirt off of it. There's a little spot. That's actually okay. That's going to be black or a tone, so we're good. And all right. Get that cleaned up. All right, gang. Coming along. All right. All this is going to be black here and here. I need to give myself some. Now, see, I'm not going to be as fussy as I was when I had my templates out starting this. Just keep in mind, I do want to keep a certain, and this is coming from me, Mr. Super Tight and Clean Inker, but I do want to keep these sketches, these early morning sketches, a little bit sketchy. Yeah, I know, bad pun, right? But, I want to keep them a little bit on the, oh, I don't want to say ragged side, but, I want to keep them a little freer than I do some of my other stuff. Because I love looking at artwork that has a uh, kind of a non-labored look, where it's got that looseness to it that I strive for, but it's very, as I said, it's very elusive. Very tough to um, for me at least to let go. That's why even on his goggles here, I'm not staying exactly in that little line I put, and I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm going to let it be a little free form. You know, I don't want to take all the life out of everything. So I want to kind of be aware that it's a nice piece of work, and it's not perfect in the sense that, I put those lines there more or less as holding lines so that I had a guide to at least keep them uh, in the right shape, but not so particular that I'm going to be too finicky with it. Let's see. Hey, Noah. Good morning. Do I have an artist in mind? Well, I'll tell you what. Of course, I love Neil Adams' Batman. I love DePero's. Um, for me, uh, when I was just reading comics, Marshall Rogers was a big a big deal on when he was doing his Batman stuff, and so was Michael Golden. So, and then when I got to work with Kelly Jones, he and I both our art is very dark. Both of us, we tend to like to draw with a bunch of light and shadow in our work. So I don't really have a specific. I guess I can say I don't really have a specific artist. I just kind of try to do what comes natural to me and let my influences um, get in. As I draw, they'll kind of show up. Yeah, Kelly can really let it go. It's pretty amazing sometimes the stuff that he does that is so out there, and yet in his world, that he's created, um, it all works. It all fits in the same concise context of what he's drawing. It looks like it fits, I guess, is. And let's see. This is gonna move that into here. So yeah, with Kelly, it's like his work is I would describe it as grotesque, but grotesque with a purpose. He's doing it Um, he's not drawing everything pretty, and I have no problem with that because I'm using the word grotesque in a way that I hope is coming across as positive. So I'm sure if I hear from Kelly that I called his work grotesque, he'll understand. Grotesque in the best possible way. Well, thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I mean, you know, Kelly does not draw pretty people, and I think that's uh, a strong thing for him. Um, you know, he draws real people, so I think you understand, and probably a lot of people understand. Again, it's you know, we'll go back to my son, the context thing. When you put it in the right context, then it makes sense. If I was just to be quoted out of context, boy, I need a microphone with a pop filter. Um, when you take it out of context, then it sounds like an insult. But using it in context, it's actually quite the opposite. But I think, like I said, I think everybody here understands the context I'm referring to it in. Uh, I would I would sort of use that same description for the work of Jack Kirby. You know, it's it's so powerful, but in another way, it's also grotesque. But man, it you know, Kirby for me was one of those artists that it didn't hit me right away. It didn't, you know, the first time I saw his work, I when I was younger, um, I didn't get it at all. I mean, it did not click anything for me. Now, the beautiful thing is when it did click, I just, you know, I can't remember exactly what it was or why it was, but I just, you know, I saw a panel or a cover or something, and suddenly it was just like, oh, you know, I get it. You know, it's like suddenly it was like all this talk about Jack and the brilliant work he did was made clear to me on the page. So I think he's another good example. Although his work could be, you know, I guess it could be beautiful at the same time. I can actually see that. Yeah, Ditko's another one. You know, it's interesting. I had the same Joe Kubert. I just thought he was, drawing messy. Little did I realize how much power um, was in his work. And once I did, then again, eyes open. What a fool I was for, not that I said anything against it, but for not seeing what everybody else had been seeing. I was just kind of like, oh, yeah, then I could join in the conversation of how great like a Kirby or a Kubert was. Because my eyes had been opened, somehow they, you know, they suddenly saw the work in a different light. For those of you who came in a little late or have not done it yet, and I don't know who has or who hasn't, I'm trying not to like to be surprised. Uh, if you enjoy this stream and feel so inclined, please give me a like down on it's underneath the video. There's a little thumbs up button, and leave a comment. Let's get some comments going too. Uh, right now, it's easy for me to promise you a reply. Now, let's just say at the end of the year, I'm getting 50 or 60 comments on one stream. I will still try to give everyone a reply, but I can't promise it. But right now, with a smaller audience, a little easier to do. And I appreciate getting the comments, and I appreciate I don't appreciate, well, I guess I do, but I enjoy replying back. And you don't have to leave a comment yet. You can wait till we're done here. You can come back. I know comments are sometimes not the thing that that you leave while you're watching something. So I get it. I get it if you want to leave a comment later. And you might want to do a thumbs up like when you're leaving that comment later. But that you can do anytime. Either way, it's all good. It's appreciated very much. No color on this one, Ron. It's either going to be just left black and white or maybe some gray tones. Um, uh, yeah, Josh, I'm a big Mignola fan, but I've followed Mike's work since back in the fan days you know, when it was not quite as uh, geographic shaped, I'll say. I was kind of on board with him through all his incarnations of development, so I kind of got to follow it. I understand, maybe, and I don't know if you did or didn't, but I can see that. I can see that, somebody coming in and seeing his work now for like a first time, not understanding, you know, where it is he came from, who his influences were, and how he got to where he is today. So it's a whole, it's a whole, uh, it's a whole mindset thing. I think a lot of it, and I think that goes for the people that I was talking about also that I didn't understand. I think my mind had to, uh, my artistic, my. All right, let me stop a minute and get close to this edge of this line and put my thoughts together. I had to get my artistic thinking in line with, you know, what made the work good. And once I kind of broke through that barrier, it's like I was looking with different eyes. So, you know, um, everybody has their own taste. Sienkiewicz, the guy to me, he's a genius. I had a friend that was getting a Batman. He, this is kind of a funny story that I'll tell while I'm working on Mr. Freeze. He had a line art drawing done from Bill uh, in at Heroes Con. This was back in 2014, so it's been 4 years ago. And he's in the Pennsylvania area, and I was doing the Pittsburgh show that year, and Bill was going to be there. So Bill was set up directly across from me, and my friend came over, and he's also a friend of Mike Cross, who was in here earlier. So my friend came and he showed me the line art that he got, and I loved just the line art. It was just incredible drawing of it. It didn't have like blacks on it or anything, but it was like this contour line drawing of Batman. And he had brought it there because Bill was going to paint it at the Pittsburgh show. And I was telling my friend, he was a little bit nervous about it. And I was telling my friend, well, I don't see why you need it painted. I said, I think it's really strong in black and white. I said, why, you could leave this alone and and have a beautiful illustration. And he's like, well, I've already paid Bill for the painting. He did the line art in North Carolina, and the agreement was that he was going to paint it here. And I was like, oh, well, okay, that's good. I said, believe me, you're going to be happy either way. I said, personally, I think you could just leave it and you'd be fine. And I think that kind of scared him, me telling him that. And I did let him know, though. I said, I got to tell you something. I said, have you ever seen Bill work? And he's like, well, not really. And I said, okay. I said, no matter what Bill does, don't worry because he knows what he's doing. And he's like, well, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, you just got to trust me. I said, I've seen him, throw down some scribbles, put it aside, work on another commission, pick it up, throw down some more scribbles, work on another commission, if it's ink or something and drying. And let me see, hold on a minute. Oh, okay, Josh. And so he's like, well, you're scaring me. And I said, no, it's gonna be fine. I said, I'm just letting you know, don't be afraid. And so sometime during the show, we hit a slow period. It may have been on a Sunday or Saturday. I don't know if it was Saturday, if it was slow on Saturday, but I will just say it was not the busiest show I'd ever been at. But this is 4 years ago, so shows were just beginning to um, pick up a lot of steam and become the monsters that they are now. So uh, anyway, so Bill came over and the guy was sitting with me, and Bill started talking to me, and he saw my friend and he said, hey, he said, you're the guy with the Batman piece I'm going to paint. And my buddy was like, yep. And Bill's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. He goes, I'm going to do it Sunday. So my friend was like, okay, that's fine. And funny thing is after we were done talking, um, my buddy had this newfound confidence. He's like, wow, Bill came over here and talked to you. And I said, well, I told you I knew him. I said, it's not like he doesn't know me. He's like, yeah, but he saw me at your table and he remembered me. He goes, now I feel better. He goes, I feel like he's going to do a better job. And I said, no, he's not going to do a better job. I said, he's going to do his work. I said, but just, like I said, don't freak out no matter what Bill does. And so Sunday rolls around and I love this. My friend goes over and gives Bill the Batman painting. And I asked him, I said, did you at least get a scan of the black and white before Bill's going to paint it? I said, because truthfully, I said, not that I wasn't trying to talk him out of it anymore, but I just thought it would be cool to have a black and white scan. And he's the kind of guy, he's got some nice art. And he's usually the kind of guy that would do it. And he's like, you know what? He goes, I didn't, and I wish I would have now. So anyway, back to the story. I'm doing my thing, doing my show, and he comes over to me and he sits down at my table and he's like, I can't watch. And I said, why? What's going on? He's like, he just took a sponge and took this dark blue black watercolor wash and put it all over my drawing. He said the thing is covered. It's so dark I can't even see it anymore. And so I said, so you're nervous, right? He's like, oh yeah, I'm real nervous. I said, don't worry about it. I said, he's doing that for a purpose. And he's like, what's the purpose? And I said, I have no idea. I'm not Bill Sienkiewicz. I don't think like Bill. I don't see things like Bill. I said, but I told you, just don't worry about it. And he goes, well, but the whole page is like this black purple now. And I said, yeah, I'm sure it is. And he goes, and you can't see the drawing anymore. And I said, I'm sure Bill can see it. And so my friend went back over, and about an hour later, he came over and sat back down. I said, how things going? And he's like, oh my gosh. He goes, you would not believe how gorgeous this painting is looking. He said after he put that black there, then he started like taking it away. And I said, uh-huh. And I said, so what did he do? He's like, well, he started removing a lot of the color with another sponge. And I guess he had a dry sponge. So Bill just let it soak in a little bit, and then he removed it. But he wanted to put down a really dark base and then start working dark to light. Because Bill's like a real painter. He knows what he's doing. And that's why I told my friend not to be nervous. So kind of funny. Um, I went over, and Bill actually finished the painting while he was on the phone trying to change his. I think he was trying to get a flight out that day, uh, an earlier flight as opposed to a later flight. So he's got his phone up to his ear talking to somebody at the airlines, and he's working on my friend's painting, finishing it, and it turned out beautiful. All right, so my quandary is it is late, and if I fill in these blacks, it's going to take some time to dry. So, but I did promise you all a full stream, right? Yes, I did. So, let's see. Is that it? I guess that is it. This is my big filling in blacks brush. And we still have people here watching, so I guess it's fine to continue on. I don't think anybody is ready to leave quite yet, or if they are, they haven't. So I'm going to take that as a good sign. I'm going to go ahead and work my way through this. And if anybody has questions, feel free to ask. Seems like some of you all that are in here are old hat at this, at watching people work, so you kind of know what's going on. So there will be no surprises for you. Well, relatively speaking, there will be no surprises. I mean, if I spill my bottle of ink on it, that would not be good. And that would not be my process. and it would not be fun. So hopefully that won't happen. There you go, Ryan. I like the way you think. I like the way you think. And Ronald, you're still hanging in here, huh? Good. Are you still driving? Are you at work where you can watch Ron, or do you have today off maybe? I have no idea. You want a break? Let's see. When you first started inking, were you too worried about applying too much ink and thusly leave it underwhelming? No. I had all of this in my mind, uh, all these black shapes. If you go back and when this is rendered, um, and I mean the video, because the interesting thing is the one that I did yesterday, which was just over an hour. If you go to my page, I don't see it. I mean, I can go in my videos and find it. I put it in the daily live draw playlist, but I can't find it as a standalone video. If I just like go to my page, like I was casually checking, and when I look on my app on my phone, it still says that it's uploading and being processed, which I do know these have to go through a process, and the longer they are, like the one we did Friday night that was about 4.5 hours, if you go back to try to rewatch it after it ends, you come in at about the 2 hour or 2 hour and change mark. And so it takes time for these videos, even on YouTube, and maybe it's because there's so many people doing it, to fully render and I guess get uploaded properly to their system is the best I can guess. So no, I knew I knew I was going to have this black Mignola-esque background. I knew it was going to be black versus a tone. Because if I wouldn't have done it, I would have had to do maybe, I would have maybe done more black on Mr. Freeze. And I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to kind of save some gray toning for him. So you're working. All right, well. And now, let's see. I need to make a little ink wash here. Let's see if that's going to work. Well, I'm just using the ink that I was inking with, so it's not going to have a blue. It'll just have the effect. This is what I was just kind of checking. This is the one I made. So it's about that shade right now, and I would actually like one shade lighter, so I'm gonna take my brush here. I'll move this over. I'm gonna take my brush and load it over into here and get just about that much in the little palette and fill it full of water. Now I'm gonna give this brush a rinse and see what this lighter color will give me, because I want I want like two tones. I want a light tone. Well, Ron, that's it. I mean, that's the way you learn. Just, you know, uh, you mean the black areas or the ink wash or both? Black areas are something you can actually learn. It's basically um, design. Okay, let's see how these two look next to each other. Not much contrast. I think I'm going to put some more water into my light. Thin it down just a bit more. And it's about the same. Well, I think I'm going to go with it. I think that'll work. And let's see. Let me tip this. I'm looking for any spots that are like here. That's still, it's not wet, but it's tacky, which is telling me that it's not dried completely yet. But it's probably okay to where I could um, go over it if I wanted to, but I don't really need to go over it in that area. Although I see that's got my finger grabbing. We'll pick up some of that and go back over it. Because this little thing was too dark. Come on, move around just a little bit. Work with me here. I have found that the beauty of ink wash and watercolor is let it do what it's going to do. Don't force it too much. You got a little bit of uh, say so in the matter, but overall, you're better off if you let it play by itself. Favorite character to draw? Probably Captain America, because he's also my favorite character. So kind of easy when you know your favorite character, and he's also your favorite character to draw. Um, it's a little too dark on that. Get some ink off and then put it back on over what I dabbed. All right, just let it be now. Let it play. So yeah, it's let's see, he needs a little color in the nose. And on his we'll do a little on his beard area. Oh, thank you, Ron. Now the dark wash I haven't used yet. I'm going to use that more in the background elements, such as his, I guess they're some sort of frozen nitrogen tanks or whatever. And I will probably use a dab or two, maybe, uh, in some of the area that I'm covering right now. We'll see. We'll see when I get there if it needs it or not. Hey, I appreciate everybody hanging in with me. Maybe Friday's a good day to do a longer piece. Seems like the audience can stay longer on Fridays, or this is my first time doing it, but that's what I'm kind of noticing so far. All right. Almost. I want to do a little. There we go. It's going to have to get darker. There we go. Play nice. Really good. Good to hear that, Ryan. So on Fridays, you can do, you could really do both casts if you want to. All right. Dark Wash is not as dark as it was a minute ago. Might have to add a dab of ink. Let's do that. Too dark. Let's play around a little bit here and get it. Get it back to where it needs to be. I think a lot of it had to do with there was still ink in my brush. There we go. All right. Get some darker going. I appreciate that, Ryan. It's nice to build an audience that will continue to show up and support what you're doing. Mm. This is like his metal part, so I think it's gonna look better darker. well, not metal, but this stuff up here. Uh, a different substrate, as some would say. I'm using those words for Jared. He's the big word guy. Or at least I like, excuse me, at least I like to tease him about that. The only thing I think that I will not do on the stream, and it's only because I really want this to get a lot more dry, is my signature in the white, because I got to use a white pen, and I'm kind of afraid that I need to let that really get dry, because if not, um, if I don't let it get real good and dry, it might not look good. Other than that, I think we're getting close to the finish. And again, it was very nice of everybody to ride this one through with me. I had a lot of fun with it. think we're gonna, just because he's in this cold thing, give his nose a little more color in the gray, because it's cold, but he likes the cold, but it's still gonna affect him. Maybe a little bit in the cheeks. His bony little cheeks are gonna catch a little more of the cold. The ear. And that one's on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and, in fact, all of this over here can get a little more shade. Yeah, I like that better. And even under his neck. All right. And just to make sure I get them dark enough, put a second wash over his canisters in the back. Throw them back a little bit further. I mean, we want to see them, but we don't want them to be the star of the piece, do we? Hey, Tater Shed, comics and nerdity. Okay, let's see what you're writing here. Oh, hey. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is just it's a really a nothing of a background. It's just influenced through, like a Mike Mignola, a Kirby, probably in the order opposite of that, like a Kirby type thing. It's just some negative space and some positive space playing with each other. It really, you know, doesn't really do anything but draw the eye um, into the character. And even though I don't want this to be black, it's kind of bugging me poking out so white. So put a little tone on it. Little dab there. And this I'm just going to make sure that his abs are all right. A little sunken in deeper. I might do a little bit up above. Let me see what this looks like. I know I'm safe here. Yeah, now that I did that, we're gonna kind of cut a little extra shade. I tell you, this gets addicting. Playing around with this ink wash and watercolor. Uh, and of course, do it here. anymore, and I'm going to be burning the paper up there, so I don't want to do that. Okay, and I just want to make sure that I get this again to get it dark. Okay, people. I think we have a finished piece. Well, thank you. I'm just going to say Tater. Appreciate that comment. Yep, I'm going to put that white signature on later on. Well, that's kind of dry. Let me get it off of this corrugated cardboard because this is fine so I don't get on my table, but the problem with it is it's soft. So if I do try to sign my name, it's going to be problematic. So here we go. This pen has kind of got a split. Now it's beginning to split point. Not on purpose, of course, but I don't know if y'all understand what I mean by that, but it's almost like it's drawing too thin and leaving a black line. All right. Ta-da. Quick few little highlights. Always got to have a few little highlights on something like this. And before I scan it, well, I'm going to scan it anyway so I can post it. But if anybody is in the room now who would like to purchase this before I get it on my store and it can get caught by somebody else, asking price is $50, postage paid. If you want it, the first one to call it can own it, and I will not put it in my shop for sale. Otherwise, it'll go up into the shop for sale later today when I get a chance to get it scanned and post when I'm posting stuff. So before I sign off, if anyone is interested in it, just let me know. Hey, Easy, glad to see you hung in there. So here's the finished piece. Let me see. How's my camera? How can I straighten it up? Well, that's about as good as we're going to get. All right. So I want to thank you all for this extended daily live draw Friday, first one, for hanging in and watching and participating. I don't see anybody saying that they would take it for 50, so I will put it on my shop and maybe somebody will take it off of there. Again, I would like to, I think all of you all are subscribed. That means you can come back and play tonight. If you've given me a thumbs up, thank you very much. I like. If you haven't done that yet, you can do it now, you can do it later. And also more importantly, leave a comment and I will comment back with you. That will help. That will help grow the channel, help get us more. Thank you, Robert. Thanks for dropping by. And you going to be able to make the live stream tonight, Robert? Do you know about the live stream tonight? I will give you a second to answer that. In fact, you know what? I am going to 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll be doing 3 free head sketches. They won't be as involved as this. They're here. I've got some that I did from last week. I have a Spider-Man. Let's see. Although this Deathlock was fairly involved. A Jonah Hex. An Aquaman. I found. You know what? I'm going to add some bubbles to this because I think it needs it to kind of sell the Aquaman. Batroc the Leaper. Symbiote Spider-Man. And so that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. I can, let me type in the URL into the chat room so that it will be there. Excuse my arms, everybody. Let's see if I can find that. It's a URL that I don't, oh, here we go. There it is. But I don't keep an active link. I usually just put it up on a Friday. And I'm going to put it in the chat room right now. There you go. I hope it works. It picks up my name in orange to highlight it. Hey, Shannon, thanks. Thanks for hanging in. So that's all you need to know about tonight. Again, I appreciate you all hanging out and hope you had a good time. I know I did. And what time we got here? 9:24 is what my is what my phone is saying. So all right. Thanks again, everybody. Hope to see most of you all back here tonight if you can make it. And I appreciate you all. And I guess that's it. I will be quiet now and go about doing some more work and preparing for later on tonight. What's that, Ron? Oh, you want dibs on this? You want the freeze? I will wait for your reply, Ron. Hey, thanks, Ryan. Thanks for kind of encouraging me to keep going. Sometimes I feel, and it's true, they run a little bit long. Some people won't stay in. They won't stay for a long period of time. Hey, Tater, I appreciate it. If you want, you can go back. I've I've been streaming now for about, I want to say 2 months, but I don't know if it's been that long. Yeah, but it was only a weekly thing. So, um, uh, so yeah, you can look at, you can look at some of my other streams, and you can also give them a thumbs up and a comment. Okay, hold on, Shannon. It is $50 postpaid. I know you know that. You've bought art from me before. I'm looking at Ron's comment where he says, read up dibs. Oh, okay. He did actually. I see. It's above the URL. So, Ron did say dibs on it. So, you know what? I don't make this clear. I think I did Monday when I started this. Um, I did mention that if I'm working on a piece in the room and you want it, if you want to buy it while I'm working on it, you can before it hits my shop. So I do see that Ron said dibs. So this will be going his way with, I have a sketch cover for him, and I keep threatening to finish this Dr. Doom painting, this watercolor. All I have to do is the white. So maybe I'll work on that today. I've got some white pencils. I have some white acrylic that I'm going to do a little bit heavier, not a lot. So I'm going to have a nice package going out to Ron. Well, that's good, Ryan. I'm glad. It's always nice to have company and somebody to talk shop with, and uh, it's a good time. So, all right, people, friends, I am going to sign off. Got things to do, and I have to take my mom to her hearing aid appointment today at 1:15, and get prepared for tonight. So I hope I see you all, or most of you, back here then for a chance to win one of three free head sketches. And my buddy Craig Zabla will be here reading the chat to me as I draw, so it helps it go a little bit faster. Although if I get occupied with something, I spend my time on it. So have a good Friday. See you this evening. Everybody take care until then. Thanks.